Seems the rain has stopped. At least for now. What a wonderful thing, rain. Try to avoid it as much as we can, but all it is doing is repurposing what was already ours and washing away maybe things we didn't like. It's really a wonderful thing. Hello, everyone! My name is Second Link, the Trained Unprofessional, and welcome back to Tennis Ace. On the last episode, a lot of ups and downs emotionally, but now it's day 26. I don't remember what day of the week this is. Hold on, let me check. It's Sunday. I wonder if I should wear something different from usual today. I've only been up for a little under an hour, but I still had time to take a bath and get dressed. I was so anxious and fidgety that I even fixed my bed sheets, which is also unlike me. Now I have nothing to do except wait for the agreed upon time. I'm pacing around in my room trying anything to keep me distracted. Which brings me right back to my clothes. I've been staring at myself in the mirror and wondering if maybe I should wear something different. I mean, summer is starting and all, so it's even hotter now than it was a couple weeks ago. So I suppose it makes sense for me to be wearing a tank top and shorts. But at the same time, I have no idea what Keisuke has planned for today at all. Would he get mad at me if I showed up like I always do, or am I worrying too much? I feel like I'm slowly going insane here. That's what love is. Why don't I even care so much? It's just supposed to be a little date, not a big deal. Yeah, we've hung out dozens of times before. There's nothing weird or different about it. Except hopefully we get to fuck. It'll be the same as always. Us getting together to have some innocent fun. Innocent, huh? Yep, it's totally not a big deal. Except that it totally is a big deal. I feel like banging my head against the wall. Maybe that would knock some sense into it. Oh, it's Aki. And said as Akiyoshi for some reason. Why with the full name? I'm confused about that, but okay. Aniki. My door is gingerly open, my little brother's face peering at me curiously before seeing me standing still in the middle of my room. As soon as he notices I'm up and about, Aki fully swings the door open and walks in. Now, that's unusual. What is? I went to take a shower and saw that the bath had already been used, but Mom isn't even up yet. I don't think I can recall a single time you've woken up before me during a weekend in the past year. Oh, that. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Is something the matter? Did your insomnia get worse? Nah, I'm feeling good, pretty good actually. I have plans today. Aki cocks his head to the side, glancing at me with curious eyes. Plans? I didn't hear anything from Shuichi. Is it not with the usual group? Nah, today is just between me and Keisuke. Also, it concerns me that you're in touch with Shuichi to the point of knowing my plans from him instead of me. Keisuke-san, huh? Yep. He said he wanted to take me out today. Been planning on it for at least a week, actually. Now, to be perfectly honest, I have no idea what he's planning. How come? I tried asking a couple of times, but he always said he wanted to keep it a surprise. Surprise. Like he blinks a few times, staring at me in complete silence. Yeah, I think we might just go out for lunch and then hang out for a while. But then again, I can hardly ever predict what the guy's gonna do. Oh, actually, maybe I can ask you this instead of just worrying all by myself. Do you think what I'm wearing is fine? I mean, I do wear clothes like this a lot. But I was just wondering if maybe I should dress a little bit better today. You know, Kei-kun, his clothes are always kind of fancy, even when things are casual. You're worrying about your clothes. Yeah, I suppose so. Why? I continues to blankly stare at me without saying a word. The lack of self-awareness is strong with you. Starting to make the little hairs on the back of my neck want to bristle, and for some reason, I don't really like that feeling of that. What's wrong? Do I have something on my face or something? You've been spending a lot of time with Keisuke-san lately, haven't you? I suppose I have. Haven't thought too much about it. Why are you looking at me like that? It's giving me the creeps, so I wish you wouldn't. Hey, Aniki, are you and Keisuke-san a couple? I feel the thin string that usually maintains my sanity at all times snap. Unable to believe what I had just been asked something like that so directly, I can only stare at Aki with a gaping mouth. It's not that difficult of a question to answer. You don't have to look at me like that. Why would you asking me something? Why would you ask me something like that out of nowhere? It's not out of nowhere, not really at least. It's just a trend I've been noticing lately. Man, just how close of an eye do you keep on me? A pretty close one. You're my role model, after all. But, Aki, I didn't know you, at least as far as tennis is concerned. I'd probably break Mom's heart if I turned out like you, as far as dates and studies are concerned. Mom's heart isn't the only one you're breaking. Huh? Nothing. Don't mind me. Anyway, you didn't answer the question. Are you guys dating or not? That's a little... Should I tell him? I still don't even know where Keisuke and I stand on that. He didn't seem at all thrilled about the idea when I mentioned it, even though I phrased it as a far-off future thing. Tell him! I believe in telling the truth. I believe in it, but I also believe in hedging my bets, so I'm gonna fucking save. Tell Aki the truth! Well, if you must know, we kinda are. Is that right? That's pretty awesome. You think so? You don't think it's weird or gross or anything? Huh? Why would I? I mean, both guys and all. What's with that antiquated point of view? That stuff doesn't matter. Really? Of course. As long as you both like each other, and then what's wrong with that? Anyone who disagrees can get fucked. I don't know if I should be happy you're being so supportive or I should chastise you for cursing. I feel like we're losing track of priorities here. Right, sorry. Still, congratulations. I hope this one goes better than all the rest of your relationships. Ooh! Did you really need to add that last part? Huh? It's true. Aki, you're gonna make your big bro cry. Oh, and before I forget, I wanted to let someone know I was heading out before I did. Where are you going? To the tennis club. Oh, I see. Well, have fun. Thanks. Well, you just signed your fucking death warrant when it comes to your social interactions because that motherfucker has no reason to believe that you're keeping it a secret. Ergo, he's gonna fucking tell. Ergo, in that same conversation, you were talking about how Shoichi is talking to fucking Aki so much that they fucking, you know, they're talking so much that he would fucking know your plans from him more than you, so Shoichi's gonna find out. But at the same time, I really don't like the idea of saying we're not in a relationship when we are. I desperately don't like that. If anyone has seen my abusive first boyfriend video, you might understand why. Anyway, dots. Well, that was easier than I thought. Although now I have to tell Keisuke that I told Aki. I really hope he doesn't get mad at me for this. I doubt it. He said he didn't care. He didn't see the purpose in it, but he didn't see it as a problem. But then there's us, always overthinking. A few hours later, I get to the station a few minutes before our agreed upon time. Before our agreed upon a time. Truth be told, I just couldn't force myself to wait around in the house any longer. Aki wasn't home. Mom probably went to bed super late and was still asleep. I ended up pacing around impatiently for hours and was about to crawl out the damn walls with how nervous I got. I'll admit that I've never felt this way before. I've always had a much more chill attitude towards everything. Certainly never got this worked up over a date before in my life. Which I suppose might be considered refreshing, if not for the fact that I've never been more stressed out in my life! Boy! Hyperbole aside, I underestimated just how nerve-wracking the idea of a first official date would. B. What if I do or say something stupid? That's gonna happen. Just get used to that idea. The earlier you get used to it and accept it, the easier you'll be able to handle it when it does happen. And actually, what does a person even do in an official date? They act like they don't want to bone for a long time and then they bone. That's it. When I've had girlfriends before, dates were just an excuse to take them to the mall and let them gawk at the pretty things for a few hours so I wouldn't have to deal with them. God damn, dude. Probably doesn't make me sound great now that I think about it. Yeah, good self-awareness there, bud. God, am I just garbage boyfriend material? Really hope I don't royally screw the pooch on this one. Well, you won't be screwing a pooch. Well, if Shuichi had his way. But instead, it's going to be a bunny. Pretty sure with Keisuke, I can't just point at a window display and say, look, isn't that a pretty dress? There's just no way he'd be interested in that. Maybe he would. Although that might warrant a serious conversation for completely different reasons. Though I'll admit, I'm not totally opposed to the idea. What the hell am I thinking? Sometimes I'm glad no one gets to peer into the cesspool that is my imagination. Little does he know he's a character in a video game and his consciousness has been on display for everyone. Rah, 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 rah. I'd be seriously embarrassed and slightly concerned if anyone could. It's a good thing mind readers aren't a thing that exists. There'll be a secret is that we're secretly a mind reader who's just been like watching his life from the distance, just watching it happen. And I know, I've checked. When I was a kid, I used to think really weird thoughts while looking around in the crowd to see if anyone would react to them. Benjamin! A familiar voice calls out to me, snapping me out of my internal monologue and bringing my attention squarely back to reality. Hey! Emerging from inside a luxurious black sedan that pulled over by the nearby street, I see Keisuke's pristine white figure. He smiles, casually hoping toward me. I imagine that's hopping. I break away from the crowd in front of the station to move somewhere a little more quiet, though it doesn't make all that much difference. This is still almost noon on a Saturday in front of one of the busiest train stations in town. Good morning! It's nice to see you. I don't know if I'd call it morning. It's almost lunchtime. Good. Almost lunchtime? You can just say afternoon, you goof. I mean, technically it isn't afternoon yet. Don't make me smack you. You wouldn't dare! Try me and see. Alright, I believe you. Smart boy. So, what's our itinerary for today? Oh my, aren't you a little eager? Were you really so excited that you can't wait even a little bit before wanting to rush off? What? No, that's not what I meant. Oh, you're not excited to see me? How cruel, Benjamin, and here I was looking forward to our date all week. I mean, of course I was looking forward to it! Is that so? Well, that makes me happy to hear. You're so cute when you're honest. Shut up! Don't call me that! Oh, are you telling me you don't like it when I praise you and call you cute? That's... yeah? Maybe just a little... Like how I'm gonna say it, you dumbass! Haha, you got on. That's cheating! Teasing me is cheating! Absolutely not allowed. I call foul! For sure foul! Really? Because I seem to remember you doing that to Urata a lot. Even nearly made him call himself a good boy right in front of me. And that was played straight too. What was it you said? Who's a good boy, was it? But that's neither here nor there. I do not condone you for doing this to me. Aw, it's such a shame. You're the cutest when you're embarrassed. Why do I get this feeling that I'm dating a sadist? I wouldn't call myself that. Besides, is there anything wrong with thinking my boyfriend is cute? I would think not. But Therefore, there's really nothing wrong here after all, is there? No foul play. No, there's definitely something fundamentally wrong here, and it's your brain. I might have made a huge mistake falling for you. Sorry. I was just having a little bit of fun. If you really don't like it, then I promise I won't do it again. Well, I wouldn't say I hated it. Is that so? My, that's really interesting to know. This is fucking smarmy fuck. His fucking face. He knows exactly what he's fucking doing. I ended up getting into a relationship with a huge sadist. How could I have gone so wrong in life? You don't have to look at me like that. I promise I'll stop for now. Yeah, sure. The for now is the part that worries me. Either way, I did plan some activities for us. I'm sure you're going to have fun with them. You don't get to just switch back to a normal conversation as if nothing just happened. I'm seeing some astonishing new colors from you lately, but I'm not too sure about this love for teasing me. That seems to only increase with time. You're not even going to ask me what they are? Yeah, right. Please do tell me what they are. Why do you look so out of it all of a sudden? You can't be seriously asking me that after you just did a huge number on my pride, can you? Look at what you almost got me to say, you moron. And in public, too. I'm sorry. All of our agents are currently busy. Please call again later or leave a message after the beep. What is this? Telemarketing? Is this some kind of game? I guess I'm fine now. You can go ahead and tell me what you got planned. Not even acknowledging the weird thing you just said. Alright, fine. For now, let's just take the train. The train? Is this why you had us meet at the station? We're going somewhere that we can't just walk to? Yeah, that's the plan. Couldn't you just ask me to enter the car and gone with you from there? Sure, but where's the fun and where would the fun in that be? Let's go exploring a little. It should be fun. Yeah, because going on the train on our first date really fucking went well on the other route. It really was a mistake seeing that route all the way through before doing the other ones. Because holy crap has it painted my image of this fucking game in the meantime. Exploring? It's a train on Sunday during rush hour. What's so fun about being treated like tuna inside of a can? Was my idea bad? No! Not necessarily bad, at least. It's just, well, trains at this time can be a little full and uncomfortable. Is that so? I've only ever taken a train a couple of times before, and they were always when I was with you guys. Never during weekend rush hour, though. It can't be that different, can it? You know, for someone so smart, you can be so incredibly clueless sometimes. Just don't say I didn't warn you. You have zero right to complain about it later. Roger. Also, he's been pickpocketed before, so you gotta keep an eye on him. After a painful hour of getting to experience what just felt like living inside of a packed shoebox, Keikun and I finally managed to step out of the train. Our destination apparently sits about a 5-minute walk from the another train station, so at least it didn't take long for us to get there once we reached it. Lord, is the train always packed that tight? Pretty much, yeah. Isn't there a passenger limit on it or something? How would you even enforce that? But I did warn you. You picked the worst possible day and time to want to ride that train. My whole body is super sore and stiff from the experience. I had people brushing up against places that just shouldn't be touched by strangers. Welcome to the train experience. You're now one of the common folk. That's not funny. Well, it is a little funny, yeah. That's something pretty much everyone that's ever ridden in a packed public transport has had to deal with at some point. Deal with, I imagine. Honestly, it's to be expected that you'll have people rubbing against you or accidentally touching you somewhere unpleasant when everyone is shuffling around and trying to stay on their feet in a moving vehicle. You were just naive to not have considered the possibility. So, where are we? Can't you tell? I've never been here before. How would even be able to tell? Is that so? Lucky me then. Right then, Benjamin, welcome to the Museum of Modern Art. Oh my god, you took Yuichi, aka Benjamin, to a fucking museum. I see. What's with the unenthusiastic response? A museum isn't exactly the most interesting thing in the world. I'm not sure what you were expecting from me. What? But I like museums. Oh my god. The most classic date blunder. You took your date to somewhere you like, but somewhere that they have no interest in. I know Shen Comics made a fucking comic about that here recently, where it was like send a text to someone on a dating app. It was like, who's your favorite Sailor Scout or whatever the fuck? And he's like, I'm not having any luck on this dating app. What the fuck's wrong? And someone was like, you gotta ask people what they're interested about. You gotta relate to them and talk to them about what they would be interested in talking about. And so he's like, oh, okay. So we sent another message. Tell me about serial killers. That would work. It would work for a select group of people, but it would work. Sure, you're allowed to like them. That doesn't mean everyone does. Well, that's not to say I hate it either. I'm at most neutral on the idea, so I don't mind checking it out with you. Your face already tells me you can't conceive how it could be possible for me to not be interested in this. The poor fuck. Keikun, you're so easy to read sometimes. If you don't like it, then I can think of something else for us to do. What? No, don't be ridiculous. If you're excited about it, then I'm also excited about it. You don't need to worry so much. Realistically, there's no way you and I would be into the exact same stuff, but I'm willing to give something a try if it's something you like. Most of the time, at least. There are some things that will be a hard pass no matter how much you ask. I suppose that's also fine. Still, I feel a little bad for not having even considered the possibility that you wouldn't be interested in the museum. I'm sorry. It's not like you being self-absorbed is any news to me. God damn, you really are peas in a pod, aren't you? I'm used to this much and have no problem dealing with it every now and then. Besides, while you're aware of your flaw and working on it, I can't expect you to do everything perfect all the time. Why did you want to come here anyway, if you don't mind me asking? I'm not really sure how to answer that. How can you not be sure? Is I like art not a good enough answer? Well, yeah, there's that, but... How about we just go inside? There's no point in staying out here doing nothing. Ah, right. Ah, what a nice... whatever the hell that is. Heading inside, we have to go through a screening station by the entrance. Getting passed through a metal detector and a few guards before being given a stamped slip of paper saying we're allowed to head inside. I didn't know people were this gung-ho about security inside a museum of all places. They keep priceless works of art inside. Of course they'll be extra careful. Really? So this is how it is in every single art museum? Sounds like a drag. Not every single one. So, it's just this one that's a drag. Good to know, I suppose. You're just complaining to rile me up, aren't you? Oh, in here I was hoping to get a little more mileage out of that trick. And then you complain about me having fun at your expense. Guess I shouldn't feel bad for teasing you after all. Hang on a second. Oh, how fun I'll have breaking you. How... I said that wrong. How I'll have fun breaking you. I fucked that line up, and it was a good line. I'm sorry. That also is a very sadistic look on his face. Don't you think that that's going a little bit far? I'm only joking. It's fine so long as that's the case, isn't it? Sure. Except the problem here is that I don't believe you really are joking. Which of the wings should we check out first? They have wings here, like sculpted ones or made from real feathers. Please tell me that was a joke. Huh? I mean a museum wing. You know, a specific part of the building. That's a thing? I've never heard of it before. Really? Well, I thought that would be a pretty common term. I don't usually go to museums, okay? What do you want from me? Sorry. My bad. I feel like I'm being made to feel stupid. And somehow the fact that he's apologetic over it only makes it worse. Is it just me? Either way, this museum has quite a few Van Gogh pieces, and they're a big draw for the people that show up here. Funny you say that, because the place is surprisingly empty for a Sunday afternoon. I mean, I get that maybe museums aren't the most popular of a pastime, but I expected there to be more. Just more. It can't be helped. They're not running any special exhibition at the moment. Special exhibition? Yeah. Sometimes museums organize to rent specific high-interest items for a limited amount of time so they can display them in a themed exhibition. Like Van Gogh Month or Picasso Week or something like that. The only reason I recognize those names at all is because of school, not gonna lie. That's alright. I don't expect you to be some kind of art connoisseur. I'm not super knowledgeable either, it's just something I like to do sometimes. It's relaxing. Huh. I never thought of you being involved with that sort of thing. Really? Son of a rich, snobby family, have you learned nothing about me so far? I guess that's a fair point. Actually, I'm pretty sure we've had this exact conversation before when I told you guys I played violin. Oh yeah. I think I remember something like that. Still, this guy keeps surprising me often with these kinds of information. I guess I'm dating someone very cultured and smart. Don't know if I should feel intimidated or lucky by it. By comparison, I'm the dumbass bumpkin that is constantly looking at him like a glass-eyed moron, needing apparently simple concepts explained to me. Wish I could say something like, at least I'm pretty, but even I'm too self-aware for that. Why don't we just take a spin around the place at random? We don't need to have a set route to have fun, do we? Yes, that's true. So long as I get to spend time with you, I'm already going to be having fun anyway. That's so sappy. You're a flatterer. Maybe a little. Let's go this way then. I point down a path to the left, which, as far as I can tell, seems exactly the same as the one to the right. Just spacious halls with lots of paintings hanging from the walls, a few sculptures peppered around the room, and some bright orange lights hanging from above us from the ceiling. Every single wall in here is a pure white that almost hurt the eye staring at it. I suppose since the point here is to pay attention to the art, they try to make the environment as clean and bland as possible. White walls on hardwood floors. Certainly pretty, but also a little bit boring. Again, I'm totally out of my element here, so I probably won't find anything terribly exciting in this place. But if Keisuke's having fun, then I can make myself enjoy it as well. This one is a bunch of colored dots on a blue background. Enrapturing! You're being sarcastic now. What? I would never. The plaque says this one is called Astral Bodies. What is astral about it? Maybe each one of the dots represents a planet, and the blue is space. That sounds incredibly pretentious. Art is subjective. It doesn't always have to be something you can just recognize at a glance. I get it. It's definitely stupid, but still, I get it. I wonder if any of these are for sale. This is an art museum, not a gallery. What's the difference? Museums don't sell their stuff, while the whole point of galleries is to sell art. Really? That sounds way too simple to be true. So, all these are from famous artists. Depends on your definition of famous. Not every artist showcased here will be put in history books, but they have all achieved some level of fame. Although it's the kind of fame where only people who know about them are other artists and connoisseurs of art. You're telling me painters don't have hordes of paparazzi running them down the street like giant celebrities? I am awed. Shut up. Okay, Mr. Art Expert, what is this one supposed to be? I pointed at another painting that, at least to my untrained eye, seems like a gray blob on a white canvas. The name on the placard says, Colorless Palette. I don't know. Ugly? Okay, wow. It's definitely not the kind of answer I was expecting from you of all people. I didn't say I wasn't an art expert at all. You're just trying to make fun of me because I had an out-of-the-box interpretation of the last one. Am I? I guess I didn't notice. What about this one? Are you gonna ask me that for every single painting? Psh, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Just gonna do it enough times so it stops being fun. Keisuke playfully punches my shoulder, chuckling and shaking his head sideways with a grin. You're an idiot. You say that like it's a bad thing. From where I stand, all it means is that you fell for an idiot. I guess I did, didn't I? Oh, hey, the sculpture's new. The hare walks away from me, half hopping towards a tall helicoidal? How, if you're not a fucking art person, do you know the word helicoidal? Helicoidal? Okay, Google. Define helicoidal. That's not what I fucking said. Define helicoidal. Define helicoidal. It just keeps saying helicoil. Is my accent really that fucking bad? Coiled or curving like a spiral. Man, you can't write an idiot and have him using words like helicoidal. What the fuck? Sculpture surrounded by a glass box. Is that brushed aluminum? Seems like it, yeah. The name is Steps to Success. I suppose these do resemble stairs a little bit. Man, who is naming these? It's a recent piece, too. 2011. It's only 5 years ago. So this is based in 2016, where all furry visual novels are based. Does it still count when it's December 2011? That's more like 4 years and 6 months ago. December 2011 is still 2011. Besides, didn't think you'd be such a stickler for an accurate time frame. I don't know. It feels like a museum is exactly the kind of place where you'd want to be accurate, no? Like, what if a tour guy was just going around the Meiji Restoration? It was sometime during the 1700s. First of all, this is an art museum, not a history museum. Second of all, the Meiji Restoration was in 1868, so you even got the century wrong. Well, excuse me, Professor. Not all of us know useless dates off the top of our head. Besides, I was just trying to make a point. No, not knowing the date for the Meiji Restoration is a little bit... So, what? You just know the dates of all the important events in Japanese theory off the top of your head? Not all of them. You need more hobbies. Right. Anyway, let's look at more pieces, shall we? Smooth. Keisuke bounds away from me, pointing nervously at another nearby sculpture in an attempt to distract me with the pretty shapes and colors. Unfortunately, I do have a better attention span than a gnat. By the way, is there a cafeteria in here or something? Not really. If you're hungry, we can go outside. There was a food cart right in the front of the museum. It's alright. Don't want to have to go through security more than once. It was already annoying enough the first time. It wasn't that bad. I just don't like those huge metal detector machines, okay? They make me feel uneasy. How come? I just got this big fear that it'll go off even if I make sure to take off all metal objects and it'll end up being tackled to the ground. You're either watching way too many movies or have really fertile imagination. Either way, I don't like. God! I'd rather not go through it again. We can eat later. I only really planned for us to go to a restaurant for after getting some stuff done first. Not exactly dinner, but we realistically wouldn't eat until 4. Oh, really? I mean, we could push plans back a little bit and have lunch together after we get out of here instead. Would that get in the way of anything you had planned for after? Like, is anything time sensitive? A little. A little. I don't want to give away what it was, but I planned for us to go watch something that starts at 2 p.m. I only have an hour and a half for that. Depending on how far it is, we'll barely even have time to get there. I did plan out the commute. It should only take us about 30 minutes to get there. I'm sensing a but here. Well, we do need to get a train again. Of course we do! And going by car would probably take us twice as long too, so unless we wanted to leave the museum in just a half an hour after getting here, the time wouldn't even work. Yeah, no. Let's just stick to the plans you already made. It's fine to skip lunch once in a while. Sorry. I should have asked if you would be fine with that instead of just assuming. Nah, don't worry. Won't be the first time I skip lunch. I just wasn't expecting it. I'm sure we'll have fun regardless, so don't worry so much about it. Still, date has barely started and I already messed up on a bunch of things. I wanted our first date to be perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect date, you goof. Especially when it comes to the first one. You're only a person. I can't expect you to never make mistakes. Boy, I wish you could teach my family to think like that. It'd be really helpful. I'll bet. In fact, they've been getting on my case even more lately. Oh, goody. Did we reach the family bashing portion of our romantic date already? Sorry, this really isn't the time to be venting, huh? What? Since when did you start being self-conscious over that sort of thing? It's so unlike you. Just speak your mind like you always do, you dumbass! I wish you wouldn't just casually insult me while we're trying to cheer me up, especially considering how you were the one that made me realize how self-absorbed I am in the first place. I lazily pat the hair right next to me on the top of his head, running my fingers through his soft, pristine white fur. Keisuke barely even reacts to it at all, which I'm not sure whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I do have to keep myself from wanting to play around with his ears, however. They just seem so cute and fluffy that I can't help but want to play with them and tug on them. I remember we used to do this to Saya's ears all the time when we were kids. Boy, she really never liked that much. I'm surprised I have no scars from back then, just given how often she'd strike me for being an idiot. I really was a careless, rambunctious child, wasn't I? When I think about it, from the time I met Shuichi and Saya until the start of my junior high years, I really have no unpleasant memories at all. All the bad things that happened were really small and easily forgotten. All I'm left with are fond memories in me now. So weird to look back on that, but so fun too. It's really making me want to play with Casey's ears even more now. Why are you looking at me like that? Should I be worried? Oh, sorry. It's nothing major. Just a quick trip down memory lane. What were you saying? Well, they've been cracking down on me even more lately. Setting up loftier expectations for school, stricter curfew, more tasks related to the company for me to do. I have no doubt in my mind that this is punishment for my refusing to leave the band. I'm sure they're probably doing all this to eat away at my free time and keep me from spending much time with them. Oh no. That sounds really, really bad. Are you sure it's all right for you to take a whole day off to go on a date with me with that in mind? I'm not going to stop living my life just because they want to force me into a position that I have no intention of taking. I've said from day one that I have zero intention of ever inheriting the company. If they were smart at all, they'd have sent me back to my mother long ago. I see. I just hope they don't come up with even worse ways to punish you. They can try, but there's nothing they can do to break me. Besides, if they bother me too much, I still have all the savings I have accrued over the years. Once I turn 18 in a few days, they'll have zero legal right to keep me against my will, and I have enough money to be able to live on my own. Isn't that basically cheating when the money came from them in the first place? It's not my problem. Father gives me a ridiculously high allowance and never checks if I even spend it. At this point, I have enough saved up to live a comfortable life for the rest of my life. I have no doubt that that's true. having already had some experience with just how ridiculous his living situation is when it comes to that sort of thing. That doesn't mean I want to hear you talking about how rich you are. Read a room, dude, for God's sake. Why are you frowning at me like that? It's nothing, don't worry about it. Still, you should probably be careful. You can never know what else they might try to do to keep you on a leash. Bring it, I say. I absolutely refuse to let them control me. You complained about my face not 30 seconds ago, but now you're the one looking super scary. He does look scary. You scary face. Just be careful, alright? Don't go poking the hornet's nest for no reason. I'm not stupid. I won't take risks I don't need to take, and I'll be sure to minimize the ones I do first. You say that, but I also know your temper can get the best of you sometimes. I'll be fine. Really. I just needed to vent a little bit. Of course. You can vent to me whenever you need. I might just end up taking advantage of that. That's what I'm here for. Keisuke smiles, brushing his hand against mine and squeezing it for just a second before letting go again. Alright, let's go check out the other wing. That one has older paintings from artists like Van Gogh. Man, you mentioned his name a ton of times already. You must really like the dude, huh? His is just a more recognizable name that I know. Oh god, he does not look happy. We enjoy ourselves leisurely walking through the museum and chatting about the different pieces displayed around the place. The place seems so much larger from the inside than it had looked from the outside, to the point that I was a little shocked. So we got Van Gogh plastered all over the place, and it's bigger on the inside. There's a lot of Doctor Who. I'm fucking kidding. That everything. That barely even ties anything to Doctor Who. We had to rush for the past 10 minutes to try and see as much of it as we could before leaving, since Keisuke didn't want to risk running late to whatever it was he had planned. Are you still gonna refuse telling me what it is? You'll find out when we get there. You tease. You see nothing yet. That idea sends a shiver all the way down my spine. Last thing I need is to become a hare's plaything. Or a rich boy's plaything. Watch him have some kind of weird hidden sex dungeon in his house. A really overactive imagination.